go into the first segment where I talk a little bit about the recent sign and trade between the Warriors and the 76ers. So Buddy Hield, he was recently acquired by the 76ers in a trade between the Pacers that, now that since he was acquired and he was on their team, but he didn't really get to play that much. And it wasn't really, there wasn't really much news to hear about him after the trade. He wasn't really utilized all that much on the 76ers, or not well, in my opinion. Now, recently, the Warriors worked on a sign and trade with the 76ers to acquire Buddy Hield. They completed the sign and trade. I don't have the exact details of the sign and trade, but it just shows that now, Buddy Hield is a Golden State Warrior. The internet has already dubbed Steph Curry and Buddy Hield as the Splash Buddies, obviously, as a little reference to how Klay Thompson and Steph were the Splash Bros. And you can't really help but feel bad for Klay Thompson in this situation because, let's face it, this guy, he was on the Warriors and he was a very important part to the Warriors and their roster for so long. And now Klay Thompson, had the option to leave. He decided to leave and ended up playing on a different team. And literally right after, the Golden State Warriors immediately replace him with a much younger shooting guard, and a shooting guard that brings just as much value on the shooting side as well as the defensive side as Klay Thompson would have brought. So essentially, they just replaced Klay Thompson and with a player that is not asking for that much money. His contract, he's making $37.4 million over the 4 years with the Golden State Warriors. And, while I did say he was younger, he is 31 years old. So not really that young, but, right around the later ages of his prime, because, usually a lot of the athletes, they would hit their prime like around 28 years old, and then, the end of it would be sometime near like 31, 32, just about, like that's roughly about where they hit the peak of their athletic career. And he will be making $8.7 million this season and is guaranteed $18 million over the first 2 seasons, according to his contract, with the sign and trade. And he is slated to earn $9.5 million in 2026 and 2027, though only $3 million is guaranteed. Then the $10 million in 2027 and 2028 is not guaranteed. So while this trade itself isn't really that complicated, there's many moving pieces, mainly future assets from the Warriors, as all 3 of the Warriors' individual trades are now officially a 5-team deal, according to Athletic's Anthony Slater. Golden State, Minnesota, Dallas, Philly, and Charlotte are all part of the Klay Thompson trade. So in the end, the Warriors wind up with Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson, and a 2025 second-round selection for basically losing Klay Thompson in free agency. The trades are combined due to salary cap reasons, according to this article. So, again, like I said, can't help but feel bad for Klay Thompson because the Warriors, it seemed like they desperately needed that shooting guard, and here they go replacing Klay with a completely, with another shooting guard that is also known for his ridiculous shooting and his efficiency. And one thing that really made Klay Thompson, and what separated him from a lot of the other great shooters in the league was his defensive ability. Back when the Warriors were considered a dynasty in around 2015, going forward up until 2018, I guess you could say, and, in the latter years where they started to decline, but Klay Thompson was there. Actually, no, really, yes, from 2016, or maybe even earlier than that, maybe even 2015, 2014, if you really want to be technical, all the way up to 2018, when the Warriors were considered a dynasty. The big difference maker for Klay Thompson was his defense, and, he was regarded as one of the best two-way players that the league has had, because not only was he so lethal on the offensive side of the ball with his shooting, but he was also able to play on the perimeter and guard basically every single good point guard. So essentially, while you had Steph Curry, who was, a little bit of a defensive liability, but was very lethal on offense. Normally what the Warriors would do is they would have Klay and Steph Curry switch. So whoever was really giving Curry a hard time, Klay Thompson would end up guarding. Either, the switch would be made on the fly during, in game, or the switch would be made, before the game even started. Like, for example, when the Warriors would match up against the Cavs, you would rarely see Steph Curry guard Kyrie Irving unless forced to off of a switch. And, that would in turn, in theory, it would give Kyrie a really hard time. But just because, Kyrie is just that good with the ball in his hands, it really didn't matter who was guarding him. But, the idea was that Klay Thompson would be the one guarding Kyrie, giving him a little bit of a harder time because Klay would do a much better job in staying in front of him than compared to Steph Curry, especially when you want to consider that in 2016, the main idea when Kyrie hit the game-winning shot, the main idea was to get Klay Thompson off of him and allow Kyrie to operate, and that's what happened because J.R. Smith quickly set that screen, and because he set that screen, Klay Thompson was forced to switch off of Kyrie and continue to guard J.R., leaving Steph Curry on an island with Kyrie, and as you guys know what happened, Kyrie ended up draining the shot. But now that Klay Thompson is older and has suffered several injuries since those championship runs and since 2019, now he lost that sort of edge that gave him an advantage when choosing any other good shooter in the league because, like I said, his defense, that was half of his game, and he completely lost that half, and now he's mainly useful, I guess you could say, or mainly reliable. That's a better word. He's mainly more reliable in shooting. So Buddy Hield, while he is much shorter than Klay Thompson, provides roughly, at least right now, provides roughly the same amount of defense that Klay Thompson would provide. I'm not going to say that Klay Thompson is a horrible defender now, but it definitely fell off compared to his prime years with the Golden State Warriors back in the days of 2015, 2016, 17, etc. And now that he's lost that edge, it's really I guess you could say it's a lot easier now to replace Klay Thompson given the amount of shooters there are in this league and just the amount of players that can really knock it down. And, obviously Klay Thompson is just known for knocking it down, but now it's a staple and a necessity in this game. You need to have these kinds of knockdown shooters if you are expected to win. So Hield, he was coming, like I said before, he was coming off a less productive season since his rookie campaign in 2016-2017. He averaged 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists in the last few games that he's played, and he still made 2.6 3-pointers a game while shooting 43% from the field, 38% from 3, and 88% from the free throw line. Now, that 38% from 3, it's really, really similar to Klay Thompson's shooting from 3. Because Klay Thompson, while, I said he's still a fantastic shooter, again, he's not the same shooter that he was in the prime years of Golden State, where he was shooting over 40% from 3. Now he's in that high 30% from 3, in the high 30s, which isn't bad at all. But again, it's easily replaceable in this league now. So he produced 1 double-double and scored in double figures 56 times of the 82 games, and topping the 20-point mark on 8 occasions and hitting 30 points only once. And he's currently competing for the Bahamas national team, by the way, in the Olympic qualifying tournament in Spain. Now, the Bahamas is coached by the Warriors assistant Chris DeMarco, so this might be a reason why he decided to choose Golden State. And, Chris DeMarco called him a helpful ally in Hield's recruitment, and Athletic Shams, called Chris DeMarco a helpful ally in Hield's recruitment, and Chanaria, I believe that's how you say his name. Yeah, Shams added that Hield chose Golden State over other suitors such as Detroit and Los Angeles because of the opportunity to win. So this is another, I guess, free agent or another player that the Lakers ultimately ended up missing out on. And, this is a very good trade coming in from Golden State. Again, like I said, this essentially replaces Klay Thompson, and, it's like putting a Band-Aid on a little setback, I guess you could say, because I wouldn't really call letting Klay Thompson walk a mistake, but at the same time, I personally wouldn't have let Klay Thompson walk. However, this is Golden State's front office we're talking about. This front office has made some fantastic moves and has been able to, despite Kevin Durant leaving, answer back by producing another championship team while keeping, Steph, Klay, and Draymond Green. I never thought that the Warriors would be able to win another championship afterwards, but they proved everyone wrong yet again. And all thanks to the front office being able to draft such great talent, and on top of the talent of, Steph, Klay, and Draymond in those playoffs. So that's really all I have for you on this first segment. So with that, we will go ahead and go into the second segment, where I talk a little bit about let's see, what was that? It was going to be about Slovenia and Greece. Pardon me if I completely forgot what the second segment was. It is really late where I am at right now. You guys can see it's pretty dark out. So again, I will go into the second segment where I'm going to be talking about Slovenia going up against Greece in the qualifying round. So I will be right back after this short break. Be sure to stay tuned.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on their fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the